How's it going, everybody? This is Go Green PM, and today's video, I'm going to be taking my Remington 870 and making it camouflage. So I bought this Mossy Oak graphics kit for shotgun skin, it says, and it's a do-it-yourself vinyl skin that camouflages your favorite shotgun. So I checked online to make sure that it does work on synthetic, and it does. So what you got to do in preparation is you want to disassemble your gun, at least take the barrel and put that part off here, and I'm going to use these swabs and some alcohol, and I'm going to clean everything up. Now I have a 30-inch barrel on here, so this only covers up to 26-inch barrel. So I do have this tape, and hopefully it's as close as I can get to that, and that's what I'm going to fill in the spots that I can't get, probably under the action and all of that. So there you go with that, and I did buy a whole cleaning kit for 12 gauge too. So yeah, what I'm going to do here is get this apart. I've got to take off the red dot scope, the trigger lock, and obviously it's considered safe right now. There's nothing in the chamber. It's all empty. There's nothing in the magazine. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the barrel, which is very simple. Take that screw off there. There you go. There's the barrel off. It's just that simple. They really thought this through. You take all this part off, slide off and all of this. And there you go. Now your gun's pretty much broken down to as much as you need to do. Now I've got a couple of Allen head screws. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to start cleaning up, and we'll be back here in a second. Okay, now that I've got the gun disassembled, it's very simple to disassemble. I mean, the slide comes off, the barrel comes right off, and because I have a scope mount on mine, the bolts that go through these go right through where the pins would be. So, and then that allows me to take the trigger out, and that, just because I just bought the gun, I want to make sure that it's all cleaned and oiled, so I will put that back in after. So what you're left with is the stock and the magazine, so which you don't have to take off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this alcohol here and some cotton swabs. Pull those out. Some alcohol on it, and just clean everything as good as I possibly can so that this all sticks nicely. You gotta remember that last time this was probably cleaned was a long time ago. I don't know how somebody else took care of it, so, but as you can tell, it's just really dirty. So what I'm going to do is go through everything here and get everything cleaned up. So I'm not going to bore you with that part of it, but I'll be back here and we'll start laying out the design and go from here. So be right back. Okay, now that I've got everything cleaned up, got everything laid out here for your the buttstock. This is for the action. Yeah, that side. And then this is for the receiver. So that's going to go right on there, just like so. And the one for the barrel. Now it says it only does up to a 26-inch barrel, and this is a 30-inch barrel. And if I stretch this over, it just about makes it the full length of the barrel. So I think I'm going to leave it at just the tip of the barrel exposed, which is fine with me. So that way I don't have to use any of the other, because it's hard to tell in the video, but they are, one's like a greenish more, and this is duck blind. So, but nonetheless, got everything nice and clean. Got nice clean hands now. And we're going to start with the buttstock. So we're going to start with this side. We're going to line it up. And I got X-Acto knife here with a brand new blade on it. Because you definitely want a nice sharp blade. And keep in mind, I've never done this before. So, but apparently it's pretty easy to adjust. You want to center it over it. So, and mine's got the rubber shock absorber on the back here that I can't just take off or loosen with a couple of screws like they actually show in the video for this. But apparently this stuff's pretty forgiving. And I don't have a heat gun, so I'm using a blow dryer. They just come off like big stickers. And you're supposed to line it up with where your buttstock meets the receiver. Just like so. I've got it pretty centered on there. I'm actually down a little bit lower than I should be. That looks better now. Next I'll pull back just a little bit here. Now this is pretty finicky. I'm sure to make it turn out just right, you're going to want to take your time through these steps. There we go. You're supposed to just work your fingers along, or your thumbs, around all the spots and start working it in. Now mine, I have a little spot for the strap to hook on, so I've got to cut around it with my knife, wherever it is. Sorry, it's hard to talk and concentrate on the same time here. But you get the point. I'm going to keep working this in here until I get this all cleaned up. And then I'll get back to you here in a couple of minutes once I've got this, this one side on. Okay guys, well, there's this part done. Turned out pretty good. What amazing stuff to work with, actually, to be honest. I'm actually quite impressed with the product. It is just, you get to a part where you think, you know, oh boy, I'm not going to get through there, you know, like, or it won't fit. And then all of a sudden, you know, you stretch it a little bit here and you give it a little bit of heat. And by the way, a blow dryer does work perfectly fine. I had no complaints with it. So now I'm just going to cut right along the buttstock to the receiver. you'd swear that it was made for this 870. But it also is the most popular shotgun, most ever sold, I guess. Oh, there's some trimmer up around there. So now the next thing is to do the other side. And the only corners that you really have a problem with are up here, right where your hand goes and stuff. That's where it takes some time, and you got to heat it and keep it up, and keep working at it, and you slowly you'll work it into spot. It's unbelievable, actually. I'm like I said, very impressed with this product. I would definitely recommend. I mean, obviously I don't have it field tested and how it's going to hold up and stuff, but at the same time, the company stands behind their product and says that, you know, it can stand up to wind and rain and all of that. Just going to make sure that this is going to overlap, and it is. And I think once you do it once, one side, the other side should be a little bit easier. And when I cut off where the buttstock goes, there's a piece left, so I may be able to use that later on the end of my barrel. Because apparently when you put this stuff together, it's seamless. You won't be able to see all these seams. And we're going to prove that here in a few minutes when I get this all together and wrapped, and then I'll turn the camera back on and we'll take a look and see how seamless it actually is. So we'll be back here in a couple minutes, everybody. Okay guys, there it is, all done. Now I'll show you the seams closely here, and you can determine yourself if it's seamless or not. Now the bottom one's really good. You can't even see, I can't even see from here. Right here, this is the seam. And it's really hard to tell. This here, the top one, because the grasses didn't line up on the back here, it's a bit more noticeable, but only to me. And I mean, anybody else is this close to my 12 gauge, then they're about to get the butt of it, because they shouldn't be that close to see those seams. Just kidding around, but anyways, so the next step is to do the receiver part, and that one is these. This is right receiver, left receiver. Same idea. You want to wrap everything. Make sure you cut out the little spots for your holes to go. Now this part's probably going to take a little time, and like I mean, right now I've got about, I don't know, a half an hour into doing this back part, and yeah, I probably could have just thrown it on there and been done with it, and it, you know, take no time at all. But I want it to look nice, and this isn't just for, you know, a weekend while I go hunting duck or whatever. It's, I'm going to keep it this all the time. So, and I think it just looks a lot nicer when it's camo. So anyways, I think I've actually decided I might buy a kit, even though it's not designed for other guns. I might buy one for my 22, my Savage 64 22, that I may do this to as well, just because I do prefer the camo look. But anyways, so I'm going to do the receiver part next, and I'll bring you back once I get some of it done. So I'll be right back. Okay, I thought I'd bring you in close just while I finish up this last little bit. As you can see, I'm working in this corner here and this last little bit around here. So just gonna turn the blow dryer on here. It's on high, but the fan's on low. And we just heat it up, and you'll see it start to form. working in with my hands a little bit. There you go, that side's done. Now, I'm just going to work in around all the holes. Just push it in and make sure you take it absolutely as sharpest knife as you possibly can get, because you want these to be nice and clean. And I'm saving all those pieces because I'm sure I'll find a use for them somewhere on here. And then just kind of push around on the edges, kind of bring everything nice and tight. But it's turning out pretty good so far. Now I need to cut out this hole. Take your time. You don't want to rush this. Like I said before, you're probably the only one that's going to see it. But why not take the time? I just spent $30 on this kit, and I would say it's worth it. Take a little extra time. There you go. Now there is a little piece under here that didn't get covered, so I think I'm going to take a little piece and actually cover that up. But so yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're going to do the action next, and then the barrel, and go from there. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. Okay guys, so now I'm working on this. And it's time consuming, and you know, as far as they say, you know, you can do it without getting any wrinkles. That's pretty hard to do. There's a couple of spots where I have some wrinkles, nowhere where my hand touches, so I really don't care, and you can't tell unless you're, you know, a couple of inches away from it, so it's not a big deal. But like I said, it's not, you know, that easy. I'm sure if you've done this 100 times, probably get pretty good at it, and you know, you're probably not gonna have any wrinkles. But for me, being my first time, I got a few spots where there's a couple of little tiny wrinkles. Not a big deal. I don't care. You know, if it was somewhere where my hand was, then yeah, I could see that getting annoying in a hurry, but none of them are. They're right at the end, so I'm doing the first quick trimming, and then I go around and I touch everything else up. You just want to pull it tight everywhere you can, and then once you got it where you want it, then you take your knife and cut along there. Now at the back here on the 870 of the action, it kind of tapers down, and that's where you just got to be careful and just take your time. The cuts are not that easy to make because you could accidentally cut a little too quick and not get the result that you want. So like I said, there's tons of excess cutoff pieces after you're done. So if you do find spots that, as you can see here, you know, it's looking pretty good. Just wrapping it all up around the top here, and now that I got this on here, I'm just going to take my fingers and get everything pushed down as tight as I possibly can. And then it says after you're done to go around and take the heat gun, or blow dryer in this case, and take your fingers and just keep working it in all the way along, all the way around every part. See, you can't see them, but there's two little wrinkles right there. Literally, if you hold it 2 feet away from your face, you can't see it. So, nothing to worry about. But it is looking pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this now. So, now that I've got that part done, the last part, and probably going to be the hardest part, is this barrel. This is the one part I haven't been looking forward to. Just because there's this to cut around, and it's a longer barrel than what is in there. So I am going to use some of these strips here to fill in wherever I can't get to. So, but I am going to start down here, and I think I'm supposed to stop right as it gets big here at the end, because that would be where it's not seen. So, anyways, this is the big strip, and it says to start at this center rail and then work your way around to the other side. The only thing I'm worried about is, yeah, like I thought, it's not wide enough to fit all the way around the bottom of this barrel. Well, that's a bad design. I was thinking it looked fatter than what this is. And it is. So, good thing I do have all these extra pieces, because it looks like I'm going to need them to fill in. That's weird that they would do that. That makes no sense, but it is what it is. I'll take this big giant ass sticker off. Lay this out here. And then I'm going to start from this side. So, let's see how this is going to work out. Another part, you know, where you really want to take your time and get this all right the first time, because don't forget, you're going to be looking down the barrel of this and you are going to see this. Okay, so I got it all stuck on one edge now, and then just going to keep taking my fingers, just keep slowly working my way around. Oh, just got a little wrinkle there. Back it off a little bit. Put my fingers back in there. And it's just that easy to work with too, like, you know, hats off to the designers, you know, 3M and whatever, Mossy Oak company, because I'm sure you guys are doing quite well now after coming out with this product. I know they obviously sell lots of other products, but what a smart idea. Okay. Now where it attaches to the magazine there, it's got to be cut out around there, and then you can either add the piece in after or whatever. So I'm going to continue to work on along here. I'm going to cut out just around this this post here, and then we'll be back in about well, for you in a couple of seconds. For me, probably about another 5 minutes or so, or maybe 10 minutes. So we'll see you soon. Okay, guys, I wanted to show you here. So when you cut around this eyelet here, what I did was I just left this piece, taped it around, stopped it there, and then on this side I had a piece left over from what I cut off at the front part of the barrel, all from up here. And then what I did was I just took that piece and continued it down through here. So there's a seam here and there's a seam here. And then because this is not wide enough to go all the way around the barrel, what I did was I took a little strip like this and I laid that underneath this here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over, and you probably won't even know that seam is there. So you just keep working it. And I take my nail and work it down right up against the bridge there. Make sure I got all the... I don't think I need to add anything at the end. It's literally, I don't know. I probably could add one more, and I may, just to clean it up. But do that, get that in there. And I take my knife. Cut it along here, pull all this up, that piece, it's not stick to me for a second, there we go. And I took a butter knife, just because it's hard to get in there. Now you could use a toothpick or anything, just to help get that edge down there nice and tight, just like so. There you go, there's a covered barrel. Now I am going to add this little piece here, just because I have it, just to clean up this edge so you don't see this after. Flip this around. I'm going to add that right on there. I'm going to clean this cut up here on the end. I'm getting all the pieces, the other pieces stuck to it. Oh. I want to dent it all up before I even get to use it. And then cut this tip off. There it is. That is the barrel done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, and actually I'm going to cover this too, just because it's seen all the time and I want it to match. I'm going to do that. I may do the scope if I have enough left over. And then I'm going to go around, do the finish trimming, do the heat treat on it like it says to do, and just kind of go through my steps here, and then we'll be back to assemble the gun. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. Okay, just about got everything back together, got the action back on, and to get this rail back on was a pain, because of the thickness of this material added on to the thickness of this. It's meant to fit just perfect in there. So it was a lot of maneuvering, over 20 minutes to get this piece on, but nonetheless, not everybody's going to have that to go on. So now we just got the barrel to put back on, and I just did a good cleaning and oiling. hopefully it slides right on there nice for you. Oh. Forgot to put the action back. There you go. I don't know how much of this you can even see, but maybe tighten that nut up, hand tight, and then give it a nice little snug click. And there you go. That turned out amazing. I am extremely happy with that. It looks just as good as if I were have had it dipped. So this looks just unbelievable for $29. How do you argue with that? But I still have the scope to put on. It's going to go back on here. But I'm undecided if I want to take the time. Whoops, just lost one of the nuts. No big deal. And undecided if I'm going to continue on and do the scope. So, but I got a few more things I want to oil here before I'm done. But there's a Mossy Oak Camo for the 870 Remington shotgun. Obviously it works for all other shotguns, and even though it says it only does up to a 26-inch barrel, you can, with a little ingenuity, use some of the spare pieces and finish it off. So thanks for joining me on this video, and I will do some updated videos once it gets a little warmer outside of me shooting this off, and find some fun targets to shoot at. But I really appreciate everybody coming to my channel and checking out my videos, and thanks to all the subscribers and everybody, and all the new subscribers too, I should say. And thanks for everybody for checking this out, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day.